What's up, y'all? I'm Lady, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I am here to share with you all my TBR for the 2024 Read Your Bookshelf Challenge. This challenge was created by Chantel Reads All Day, and I will make sure to link her video in the description box below. This is my second year participating, so I will make sure to leave a link to my TBR video for 2023 as well as the results. Find out how did I do for the challenge in 2023. It is always a goal of mine to read the books that I own, even though the library just be calling my name, okay? Especially when I'm watching so many bookish videos and seeing all of these recommendations, and instead of buying, I just typically go to the library. But I do want to read some books that have been on my shelf for a while, and so that's why I think this challenge is perfect. I love the fact that she takes her time with coming up with the prompts to help choose these books. When I'm doing readathons, I like to just be able to read whatever I want to read and as much of it. But when it comes to a bookish challenge like this, I just have the best time going to my shelf looking for the books that meets the prompts. It's just so fun. It just, my little bookish nerdy heart just overflows when it's time to go to the shelves and pick out the books for the prompts. So I can tell you that some of the books that were not completed for 2023 have been added in this stack here for 2024, right? Because I own them and I do want to read them. And I'll also say this, I never want to get to a zero physical TBR. I want to always have some unread books on my shelf, so it's never the goal to read everything that I own, but this will definitely help me to prioritize some books that I own, right? So the first thing is this. The prompts this year, you have two different tracks you can follow. And again, for all the details, I'll leave hers. But the track that I decided to follow was the Dole track. And so the first prompt says, read a book with a dog on the cover. And this is one of those 2023 books that didn't get read, and so here we are in 2024, and that is Salvage the Bones. Now this copy doesn't have a dog on the cover, but I'll show you all a copy of it that does. So this meets the prompt, right? So hopefully I'll get to it this year. The second prompt says to read a book that is under 250 pages. And for that one, I chose Gail Jones's Dora. I have tried to read this book in the past, and it's one of those issues where it was me, not the book, so I did not finish it. And then I saw Michael Reed's in 23. He loved this book, and so I said let me pick this back up and put this back, prioritize this one. So if Michael gushes about a book, then it's a good book in my opinion. So this meets prompt 2, and it's not even 200 pages, so that's good to go. Next prompt, I'm just now realizing it says read a book with more than 2 points of view. This one, I believe, only has 2. So it doesn't quite meet the prompt, but I'm not going to change it. And that is Music of the Ghost by Vattie Ratner. I really enjoyed her other book, In the Shadow of the Banyan. And so I hear this is a follow-up. And I have owned this one for quite some time. So I'm going to get to this one this year. The next prompt says to read a book where the main character has red hair. And I was so excited about this one because this book is part of one of my 2024 goals. This is a must-read book, and that is the autobiography of Malcolm X. I purchased it in 23, I believe, but I have been wanting to read it for many, many years. And if you didn't know, Malcolm X was known as Detroit Red for his reddish hair, and he's a light-skinned black man. So when I saw that, I was like, main character, red hair, how am I gonna find that? But perfect. The next one is read a book from a new to you author. And for that, I chose James Hannaham, Delicious Foods. I've owned this one for quite some time, and so I really want to get to it. I'm not familiar with any other books by him, so I'm excited to give this one a try. The next one says to read a science fiction or fantasy book, and for that one, I'm going to read Mind of My Mind by Octavia Butler, and that is part of this Seed to Harvest book. This book contains, I think it's the Pattern Master series or whatever, but book 2, I read Wild Seed, and the next book is Mind of My Mind. And so I haven't read any Octavia Butler in a couple of years, so I'm going to get to Mind of My Mind. The next prompt says to read a short story collection, and I chose the short story collection that has been on my shelf the longest, and that's Crystal E. Wilkinson's Blackberries. This is a short one, and I don't know why I haven't read it sooner, but because I'll tell you this about me, short story collections are not my favorite, but the ones that I have read, 2 of hers, I believe, 2 of hers I absolutely enjoyed, so I should read this one. The next prompt says to read a book with a house on the cover. So for that one, I chose Nowhere is a Place by Bernice L. McFadden. And this is another book that will help me reach another goal for 2024. So I'm glad to find this one meets the goal for the prompt with the cute little house right there on the cover. The next prompt is read a mystery, or it says read a book that involves puzzles, codes, or ciphers, or just a plain mystery. And that one is The Silent Patient. This one I purchased, I think in 22. I believe I did. And it was everywhere when it came out. And I hear it's good. So I'm hoping to get to that one this year. The next book is a nonfiction book. And I recently hauled this one. This one is The Garden Within by Dr. Anita Phillips. It's a short one, nonfiction. And I really want to get to this one early this year, so I probably need to set it aside. The next prompt says to read a book that intimidates you. Now, this book doesn't intimidate me, but I chose it for this category because it's a classic. I know a lot of time people shy away from classics because they're intimidating, and so that's why I chose this one. Also, it's left over from 2023, and so I really want to get to it, and that's Crime and Punishment. So we'll see if we finally tackle this one in 24. And the last prompt is to read a book that has more than 10 books in the series. And for that one, I chose Devil in a Blue Dress by Walter Mosley. This book currently has 15 books in the series, and this is book 1. So I'm excited. I recently hauled this one, and I'm excited it meets a prompt. Okay, so that is it. That is my TBR for 2024. Just like I did last year, I'll see you all in January of 25 to find out how I did. All right, y'all. That's it for me in this video. I'm Lady, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, y'all.